Hi, my name is Tom Doyle. I proudly serve as president of Bishop Moore Catholic High School. We're standing in front of the Moore Center today, which is a turning point in the history of Bishop Moore. There have been several turning points during our history here, and I'm proud to say that today is one of those moments. The Moore Center is a mixed-use facility, and it's very exciting because it brings together several aspects of our community. Athletics will be advanced here with some beautiful athletic facilities, but this building is also an academic building, a building where we'll achieve wonderful academic success. But the building is also an area that we can bring people together and meet, not only with our constituents, but our proud alumni, and bring the alumni back to campus, back to their home. And it's so exciting to have all of these areas that we can now address with Bishop Moore Catholic High School at the Moore Center of Excellence.
Marvin Snyder, currently the assistant principal at Bishop Moore, and prior to that, I was the vice president of advancement. Had the pleasure of working with so many members of our community, envisioning and making the Moore Center a reality. So I feel that the original vision of this space came from our state championship football team back in 2015. And I remember the day vividly. It was actually on my birthday, December 11th, 2015 is when we won the state title. And after we won the state title, members of the community kept coming up to Coach Hedrick and going, what can we do to support you? What can we do to support the program? And Coach Hedrick's like, I don't really need anything. The program doesn't really need anything. And talking with Coach Hedrick and Mr. Doyle and Mr. Malatesta at the time, a vision was born. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can have a better weight room. And so this building really started out as a weight room and some locker rooms. And the further we got into the process and meeting with members of the community, I was like, okay, we need an event space, somewhere we can have people come together and talk about Bishop Moore. And then as we got further and further into the process and engaged deeper with the board, it was like, this really needs to be a true multi-use facility. We need classrooms, we need event space, we need a school store, we need workout space, we need a place to hold a lecture series to be able to zoom in some of our renowned alumni in their various fields from all over the world. And so really, it was a community effort that started very small and grew. And it really is amazing what this project developed into. So, in looking at a perfect marriage of people to be involved in a program like this, a fundraising campaign like this, I really looked out to find an engaged and involved parent. And one of those people was Pete Newsom. He was a new parent to the school at the time, who was enthusiastic, supportive of athletics, and was willing to talk to anyone. And so asked him to get involved. And then I looked back into, an engaged member of maybe years past or who had children that were alumni. And actually in this case, we found John Jennings, whose wife was actually an alum, and John was involved in one of our past campaigns as well. And so John and Pete were a perfect marriage. John's a contractor who builds buildings, and Pete is a new parent at the time that was willing to talk to anyone. After we got John and Pete involved, really needed to find another member of the community that could really go out and speak to people about what it meant to be a Bishop Moore alum and what it meant to be a part of the community. And so we engaged Kathy Engelman, who served as the chair of our Leadership Gifts Committee. And then the team grew. I mean, Kathy was fantastic and got Chris Gardner involved and Paul Misigman. We also got Wayman Armstrong involved. I mean, it really was a fantastic group of people that came and met on a regular basis. In the beginning, it was weekly. Then we went to bi-weekly. I mean, we met a lot. We really, really worked closely to engage as many people as we possibly could. And we couldn't have done it without the members of that leadership committee. The committee really worked well together. We were able to meet in person and also use technology, right? Looking at sheets of information to find out the members of our community that would be passionate about a project. So you first started with their circle of friends, the people in the community that they knew were leaders of industry who were either grandparents, parents, future parents here at the school. Just people who loved Catholic causes. And so we went out and we met with them one-on-one. We had coffees, we played golf. We had some house parties. Members of the community, offered up their homes. I believe our first house party was actually Kathy Engelman's. She opened her home. We invited a list of guests to come to the home and listen to a presentation. And so we did several of those. And as you did one, then the vision spread, the message spread. And before you know it, people were actually calling us to find out more information about how to get involved. And it really took a village effort. I mean, tons of one-on-one meetings. Mr. Doyle, myself, Mrs. Livermore, meeting with people one-on-one, two-on-one, golf, breakfast, prayer groups. I mean, you name it. We really, really, really worked hard for probably about 2.5 years to go out and engage the members of the community into this process. And truly, we're just so blessed that everybody was able to come together. I mean, as you look around this facility, I don't know that any of us could have imagined a project that even better than what it is today.
Good evening. My name is Jim Etzkorn. I'm an alumnus of Bishop Moore Catholic High School, a parent of 3 graduates, I should say a proud parent, and I'm a current board member of Bishop Moore. 3.5 years ago, we sat down and we talked about what the future might hold for a building at Bishop Moore. And to be quite honest, I thought this was going to be a field house. I thought it was going to be for our athletic department, for our teams to watch a game, a football game and a baseball game. And that was a dream at the time. I will tell you, I felt like we were dreaming about what the future might be in this building. Fast forward 3.5, 4 years, that dream has become a reality, and what a reality this is. As part of the building committee to help select the architect and the contractor, we spent a lot of time with various proposals, listened to each of them, saw what the designs might look like. And I have to tell you, my idea of what the initial project was going to be is nothing like this great building before us tonight. So it evolved, and we have them to thank for their design process and what they did to really put a building together that will serve our students, our alums, our teachers for years to come. This building is going to provide our future students with tremendous opportunities, better opportunities than I ever had, that my children had, and the future is just very bright. So I want to congratulate Dr. Wickstrom, President Doyle, our alumni, our donors, the diocese. Thank you for standing behind us, and for everybody that this building will serve. The future at Bishop Moore Catholic High School is very bright, and this building will serve us for many years to come.
My name is Eugene DeMasso. I'm a design leader at RLF, architect as well. My role in this project was project designer, and so I was critical in the conception of the project and leading our team in all respects of design. Well, I think with all good and great architecture, it starts with inspiration. How can we create spaces that inspire people? And so with that in mind for us, we approach every project as, what will drive a project and what will inspire the people that occupy the project. And so really, the project started with the inspiration for what Bishop Moore gave us. And so that is the mission. The mission of Bishop Moore was really at the forefront of our minds when we're thinking about the space. And so, starting with, Catholic identity and faith being a major driver for the mission of Bishop Moore. And so there you start to see, what are the elements that make that can reinforce that type of environment that inspires that Catholic identity and the faith. And you see the details, in the crosses in the brick, places where we've integrated a graphic environment that can show scripture and share and inspire the students as they're kind of walking throughout the campus in their daily class student life. And so so it's really starts with the faith, and then it's the learning environment. What creates and inspires a great learning environment? It can be pretty simple, right? To provide teachers with the right type of space, well daylit space for students, so that they're not tired, or they have views to nature and views to the campus is a way to inspire them to learn. Yeah. So and then athletics is sort of that probably that third component, that it's almost an integration of both the faith and the learning, that they're not learning necessarily book knowledge, but they're learning about themselves and how to grow in virtue and within sports themselves, physically and spiritually and mentally. And so it is a unique project. You know, we really we love to do buildings that have a lasting impact on the community. And this is one of those projects. We call them our legacy projects. And this is definitely a legacy project. And I think even when we were starting the project out, we talked about legacy. We talked about leaving a legacy, because anytime you build a building or an environment, it's an opportunity to have an impact not only on the immediate present time, but it's also an opportunity to leave an impact on the future. And so that's really, it's a special opportunity. And Bishop Moore realized that vision, and I think it'll have a lasting impact and leave a legacy for the future of Bishop Moore. It's not very often that you build a building and trying to understand what does it include, what does not include. And so there was an opportunity to expand the building a little bit to include some classrooms. Making sure it has the right things in it can be a challenge, and so identifying what that is important, and going back to like what's driving the project, it helps to lead you in the right direction. Other challenges: it's a really tight site between the baseball field and the football field. And so that is a real physical challenge of getting everything in here that you want, and without interrupting either side of the building and the fields. So that was a real physical challenge. But no, it was an enjoyable process, though. I mean, it was well worth the challenges that we faced. It's special to me. My wife is an alumni here, and then my son will be going here next year, and he plays sports. He's very active, and so in a real way, leaving a legacy is kind of a big part of something that's happening right now. So that to me is even more rewarding and very very much a part of. I'm just happy those two worlds are coming together in a very real way. That's encouraging to help create that space for him and all the athletes and the students. It really is. It's really an opportunity that I enjoy seeing people enjoy the space and utilize the space, and everyone excited about it. That to me, is much more. It's more rewarding than the building itself to see it meet a real community need and people to be excited about it. And
we really couldn't have done any of this without the leadership of Mr. Doyle and partnership with our leadership committee. It really has meant a lot to me to be involved at the ground level. I mean, we've worked tirelessly on the fundraising side of things, and once we raised the money, to be involved on the design side with the team at RLF and the contractors. It's just been an amazing experience that I just really feel blessed to be a part of such a giving community, such a Catholic community, where we really, really want to bring people closer to Christ and really want to work with one another to make the world, a better place. Bishop Moore is a truly special place that's shown in the lives and the deeds and the words of those members of the community that are proud to call themselves Bishop Moore alum.
On behalf of the students, the faculty, staff, all the alumni, and the entire Bishop Moore family, I would really like to thank all of our donors who made this project possible. It is so important to me personally, but also Bishop Moore as an institution, that we are good stewards with the resources that are given to us for very specific purposes. Thank you again so much for giving us the opportunity to serve generations to come. Students, 100 years from now, will be using this facility. So thank you for making these things possible.